Hi everyone, welcome to Sleepover Scaries. And today I have some more Reddit ghost stories for you. Don't forget to leave me your ghost stories because I want to read them. Okay, let's get into it. We have these family friends, a couple and their two daughters. To put this into context, they are very down to earth. She works for the council, he runs his own business, etc. They're just normal. Or are they? That was probably really loud on the mic. I'm so sorry. These are not superstitious people or anything like that. They couldn't be more of the opposite. We've known them for like 30 years. They've lived in this house in our town that dates back to the late 19th century. Looks like a lovely place, and you'd never think anything of it. Years ago, we had them over for dinner, and somehow during the evening, they started joking about their haunted house. I can't remember the context of the conversation, but they didn't bring it up intentionally. Of course, our reaction was, what the? So they started talking. Turns out all members of the family have experienced paranormal or strange events over the years. All of them were very convincing and very firm that what they experienced actually happened. To this day, I have no reason to not believe them. The gist of it is that they were 100% convinced their house was haunted by an old woman. Here's a list of the incidents they described in order of creepiness. I don't know if this goes less creepy to most creepy, but we're about to find out. We can vote in the comments, number it up. Both parents said on different occasions they would be out in the garden and clearly hear a female voice calling them by their name. They would return inside the house only to find that no one had actually called them. This happened to both parents on multiple occasions. Daughter number 1 said she was lying in bed one night dozing off when she felt a hand gently brush her hair across her face. Like, thanks for getting out of my face, I guess. She opened her eyes and was terrified. No one was in the room with her. Well, obviously somebody was. Some ghost buddy. That was cheesy. Daughter number 2 composes her own music on the piano. Okay, Slime. One day she was playing a melody when she suddenly heard a female voice directly over her shoulder humming the melody she had just played. Again, she was terrified and turned around and no one was there. Honestly, like, why are these kind of nice? Years ago, they had friends over for an evening, another family with kids. At the end of the evening, they were saying goodbye to this family in the driveway when the 5-year-old daughter of this family asked them, "Who was that old lady in the house?" There was no old lady there that evening. Well, there obviously was a ghost old lady. Maybe 2 years ago, we visited them at the house. Out of curiosity, I brought up the topic again. They were very casual in their response. Casual, but firm. I asked about the ghost, and both the husband and wife confirmed that they had actually seen this woman. I can't believe you waited 2 years to find that out. The husband described being in the kitchen when he saw this old woman dressed in turn-of-the-century clothing come floating through the wall directly in front of him and then disappear. The wife described a situation where she had picked fresh flowers from the garden and put them in a vase on the dining room table. She went into the kitchen, and as she returned, she saw this old woman, again dressed in turn-of-the-century clothing, leaning over the flowers as if she was smelling them, only to disappear immediately afterwards. Well, she just wanted a little sniff, and then she was going to leave you alone. Further context. The wife told me she did some research through the council records and found a report of a horse and cart accident that occurred just outside of their house at the end of the 19th century. A woman was critically injured. I don't think she had more details, but given it would have been the only house there at the time, she felt like they may have taken this woman into their house, where she then succumbed to her injuries. Again, I cannot stress how normal these people are, which to me gives their story a lot of credibility. The whole family was on board with the story. They are not superstitious people and have nothing to gain by making this up. That's totally fair. I feel like most people, like, I don't know, when you're an adult at a certain point, if you don't notice people like kind of trying to get attention in other ways, it feels more convincing when they have like a ghost story like this where they're like, yeah, I guess that's what's going on. What do you guys think? Have you had similar experiences? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.